Hello and welcome to RPTV. I am your host, Jordan Espeseth. On this episode, we have Decor Directions. We have Matt and Victor. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're excited to have you guys on.
Fantastic.
Now, we met not too long ago, and I very much enjoyed your guys' story and who you guys are. First of all, so you guys are stagers, and tell us a little bit about your guys' business. For someone who maybe doesn't know much about the staging world, what exactly do you guys do? What services do you provide?
Well, so home staging, there's a lot that goes into it. There's a lot of prep work. There's a lot of planning. It's not just a one size fits all. So we have to go into a house that is getting ready to go on the market. And give a consultation on what it looks like when this house is staged. It could be an occupied house, it could be a vacant house. So we do both phases, if you will, of occupancy. So we'll go in and ask the owners to declutter and depersonalize and move some furniture around to make the spaces look larger for the professional photos. That's an occupied house. In a vacant house, we will go in and be creative and
What do you prefer? Do you like those better?
yeah.
I would go with the vacant ones.
Do you like vacant?
Yes.
Yeah.
I get more creative on those, for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we have the furniture, like we have the
Yeah.
storage units and stuff of the furniture, and
Yeah.
we're ready to go.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
So there's I don't know how many stagers out there. I'm sure there's a ton of them.
Yeah.
What would you say? What makes you guys a little bit different? What makes you unique than from the other stagers that may be out there?
Wow. So one of the things is my time in the real estate industry. So I've been in the industry for 14 years. Have been a realtor before, so I understand what it takes to get a house sold. I led a top producing team, and I was the listing agent of that team for a while. And so staging back in 08 and 11, when the market was shifting, you had to do things to make your house stand out from the others.
Sure.
So we've seen a shift in the market right now, and this is great timing. If your listings aren't selling, you need a stager. You need to have somebody come in and professionally stage it.
Going back to that question, something that we can say that we do different is, as he was saying, we don't see it as one size fits all. So we have to go see the house. We've seen some properties with interesting wall colors. So we've sometimes gone with a lot of furniture, a lot of decor, art pieces, thinking this is just gonna go great. And then you see the light and you see the color they're using now, it doesn't match.
Yeah.
So some other companies, they're just gonna use whatever they have and then just take it regardless, right? Okay, this is what we bring into this house, let's just do it, it's staging. For us, it's just different. We have to make sure that we make the house look beautiful and have a broad appeal, right? That everyone who's gonna walk in is gonna fall in love with the house. Why? Because we work with the set of colors they already have. With the lighting, if there's not enough lighting, we'll have to bring more. But we study the house
Right.
several times from all angles. And then also something else we do is we like to do periodic checkups.
Okay.
So we want to go back to the property a month later, 2 months later, because as you know, people are going to be going into the place and just moving pillows, moving decor. So we want every time there's a potential buyer walking into that house to look as perfect as possible.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. It's like kind of there's a science behind what you guys do, right?
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
huge. It's the marketing of the home.
Yeah.
And when homes aren't flying off shelves like they have been, and
Yep.
you guys need to stage them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll say this too, when I was, selling and had the team, I went out and sought a great stager to partner with.
Yeah.
And I saw the value in what staging brought. If you haven't seen a before and after picture of a vacant room and one that is staged, or
Yeah.
one that, is being lived in with their stuff all around, and then one that's staged, it makes a night and day difference.
Well, some people say like they try to tell people to envision what it's like, but you can't do that. Like we're tactile people. We need to feel it. We need to see it for ourselves. Like you can't just
Right.
populate in your head what it would be like. It doesn't work that way.
And that's part of what we do. We've gone to some places, some properties that have maybe odd shaped rooms. So we've got to come up with an idea of what the potential buyer might think about doing with that room. And that's where we get in and say, okay, this is what we think you could use here. Either a game room, we can do a seating area. So that's part of what we have to go and see the property. And we actually put it on our report. Said, so this is our recommendation. This sometimes they will tell us, I just want 2-3 rooms to be staged. And then if we see a odd shaped room that no one will know what to do with it, that's when we say, and we recommend to do this on this one, so the potential buyer can understand or think, okay, this is what I can do if I buy this place.
Right.
Right.
Because sometimes it's just easy to see, okay, this is going to be a living room space, this is going to be the dining room area. What about those two there? What am I going to do with those two? Some places have really big spaces that people cannot picture what to do with them.
Yeah.
And one of the things we do too, Jordan, is we do the interior decorating after someone purchases a home.
Okay.
So it's not just, it's the staging, to get the house sold,
Yeah.
but it's also the decorating. So if, there are any realtors that have buyers that have recently bought a house and they're like, what am I gonna do with this house? What colors are we gonna put in? How are we gonna decorate it? We do that too.
So you guys will consult with them on
Right.
how to best stage it. I just moved into a 2-bedroom. I'm trying to figure out how my office is going to look, so I should have consulted you guys on
It's
that.
not too late.
It's not too late. I think I have a couch coming from Wayfair, like
Uh-huh.
as we're speaking. So, so you were in real estate. What were you doing prior to getting into?
I am
this?
actually a customs broker. Well, a little bit more background. I'm a computer science engineer.
Okay.
I have a master's degree in international business, and that's why I got into customs brokerage. So it's importing goods into the U.S. So we clear customs, right? So we do it for big companies. That's basically my background. But I've always had this creative side of me,
Yeah.
which is sometimes odd because people always see engineers just like being this way.
Not super creative.
Not
very
super creative,
yeah,
but I've always had it,
reasoning.
right? So I knew I wanted to do something like this. I've always enjoyed, ever since I was a kid, like really nicely decorated houses. Even
Yeah.
my own place, I don't want anything out of place. It has to look like neat, like no one lives in there. It's just the way I see it.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's like my own sanctuary, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It is a total flip of. Did you enjoy what you did prior, or were you like? Did it pain you to do what you're doing every day because you have this creative side?
No, actually, I did enjoy it a lot, honestly. I'm not
And
gonna lie.
you still do it.
I still do customs brokerage.
Yeah.
Yes, I still do it. There's nothing I don't like about it.
Yeah.
It's such a rewarding industry. There's no monotony.
Yeah.
Because it's always something different that you need to classify and talk about duty rates and stuff. But then I go in the afternoons or weekends and now we gotta get creative and get this house look as beautiful as possible to sell it.
Yeah.
So it's rewarding having both sides. But yeah, people who've found out that I do both, like we would have never expected you to be that creative.
Right.
Because you are an engineer, you do all these customs, a lot of just thinking. It's a really an industry that you have to think a lot.
Sure.
But then if I can get on my creative side right afterwards, I just feel more reward.
There you go.
Yes.
Yeah. And did you ever have intentions of getting into staging? I mean, you were in real estate for 14 years. Did you have when did you start getting the bug to do this?
Well, that's a story in and of itself. So Victor had decorated his apartment, and when I went over one day, I was like, wow, this looks amazing, right? And like he said, it looks like nobody lives in there, right?
Yeah.
Having 4 kids of my own, I've never been in a place where it doesn't look like somebody's lived, right?
Yeah.
So then I moved into a new place, and he started helping me decorate, and we went shopping, and
Yeah.
we just loved that whole experience. And we had been thinking about what could we do together as a business, right? And so on the way home from shopping that day, I was like, what if we did a staging business? And we just did this full time. It would be so much fun to go out and, find a space, envision what it would look like, come back with our ideas, and have a finished product like what we've created in both of our spaces. And so that was the point where the seed was planted, and the
And I
rest is
said
history.
yes, like right away.
immediately.
You were
I
on
said,
board.
yeah, that's it. That's the business we were looking for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I didn't
love
have to
that.
think about it.
So you guys are both on the same page from
Yes. From the very
seed of the
beginning.
idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how long ago was that? Because it hasn't been too terribly long.
No.
Yeah, so that was last December. It's been a year.
It's been a year.
Oh yeah. There we go.
Yeah.
Congrats.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, it's been a great year. So
Yes.
one of the things we're looking forward to is growing this business into something to where he doesn't have to do his customs brokerage anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't have to sell real estate anymore.
Yeah, 'cause
I-
you still
I,
sell
I
as well.
still do that.
You guys are
and so
double.
Yes.
yeah. So we're burning candles at both ends.
Yeah.
He sent me something not too long ago that said your 9 to 5 job pays the bills, and your 10 to 3 a.m. job, builds the empire.
Sure.
Because having
Right.
full-time jobs, that's what we do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're staging houses at 2, 3 a.m.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
and that's fine because we know that's what it takes to get it done.
So you can take the 9 to 5 out.
That's right. We want to take that out and be able to do this full time, and that's a goal of ours. And I firmly believe in 2020 we'll be able to do that.
So
Especially
sometime
with
next year, you guys
Yeah.
think?
Most definitely.
How does that make you guys feel?
I am excited. 'Cause
Yeah.
honestly, that's something that I enjoy time and time again. When
Yeah.
we're shopping, we're just staging the house. There's nothing I don't like about it.
Yeah.
It's just so much fun. And just like last night, we were staying in a house, and like, you know what? I'm not too sure about that end table. Well, let's just try this tree now. So we used that. I said, okay, yeah, that's the way.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. So
Yeah.
it's really rewarding.
I actually agree with that because I really look forward to when we like move and trying to figure out what like feels right. Like it's
Right,
just you
right.
know what I mean. And luckily my girlfriend and I we have the same taste with how we like things. But I can see where you find it very rewarding.
Yes.
Right.
What do you guys? I mean, obviously, your whole life this last year is kind of been thrown upside down with a new business and working. What's been the most challenging part of that for you guys? Whether that be in the business directly or just managing personal lives, like what's been the biggest challenge you guys have dealt with this past year?
So I would say part of that it would be having a full-time job still, and sometimes not having enough time for fun stuff to do. So we don't regret it. We knew it was going to be this way, right? Because we enjoy doing both. But sometimes when we have a free weekend that we know we're not staging, we're not doing anything. Sometimes it's like let's just not go out. Let's just not do anything.
Yeah.
Because we're just like tired, right?
Stay and watch some Netflix.
Yes, but we knew it was going to be this way, and even if it's something that we start at 6 p.m. and it's still 2 a.m. and we're still staging that house, at the very end when we take the photos, like okay, it was worth it.
Yeah.
And I have to go again and just check every room. Everything looks perfect, and I'm always sometimes moving. He's like, "Really? Are you checking that again, Victor?" Like, yes, because that little piece in there, that little piece of furniture or art piece doesn't look quite right. So I just get another one. Okay, this is the perfect one.
Do you agree with him on, or sometimes you're like, it's good, like let's go?
Well, so
Oh yes, yes.
yes, more times than not, I just say, yeah, it looks good. That's good. Because I know if he's happy, then it's all good. But no, I mean, last night at that staging, we had a disagreement, if you will, on the dining room table. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, we should have 4 chairs. And he's like, no, 6. And I was like, well, then we need to move it and not make it long ways this way, but turn it around, right? And it fit in the room perfectly. And with the 6 chairs, so
Yes.
we were both happy. But I
Yes.
was not happy with the
way it was initially
set up.
So-
And so there's a lot of compromise too that goes, and that's not a bad thing. So I think your question was,
Yeah.
what are some obstacles or some
Challenges,
things,
yeah.
challenges? For me, it's been scheduling. It's
Okay.
just, and that's why I'm looking forward to being able to do this full time. Because I'm an entrepreneur by heart, right? So that's what I enjoy doing. I love the creative side. I love the opportunity to make as much income as possible. I love the challenges. Like right now, we have a challenge of going from storage units to a warehouse, right? We have the challenge of Do we continue to rent U-Hauls or do we buy a truck? I mean, so those are things that I love, finding solutions for that and moving forward, because that just means we're
Transitions and
growing.
growth. Yeah, 100%.
And I did tell him, if we're gonna get into this business, we're not turning down any staging job,
Yeah.
regardless of our full-time jobs, and we've never done it, and we don't plan on doing it.
That's great.
Yep.
So we're like, no, always say yes. Someone call me, okay, so, yeah, it's ready in 2 days.
Yeah,
Yeah, just go ahead and go with it, and we're gonna do it.
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not turning down any jobs.
So 2020, you guys think you'll step away. What would you like to see happen in the next 2, 5, 10 years with this business? Do you guys think you'll be adding on employees? Where do you see it going?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. And one of the challenges that we've had is making the business replicable. Like I think we mentioned earlier how much we love the customization of the staging jobs that we do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's all well and good if it's Victor and I doing it. But when it comes to adding on more individuals, we've got to have our systems and processes in place so that they can go in and go, this is what they want in this room, or this is what should go.
Because everyone has their different
'Cause-
taste and style.
Right,
Yes.
and everybody's not going to decorate or have the design that we do.
You kind of
so-
want to have a brand of this is how we stage it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And if someone comes in
Yeah.
and has something else.
Because I would still love to go, even though if it's someone in the company and they stage the house, I would still like to go and see it.
Yeah.
Not just, okay, I'm just gonna
Trust that it was-
trust it and it's perfect. Yes, and I know you can trust people, obviously, but it would be like, okay, let me just take a look if it's, because I know they're gonna take a photo from that angle, so I need to make sure that it looks perfect. That lampshade is crooked, let's move it. So,
Yeah.
Well, I know delegation in any business is one of the hardest things,
Yeah.
especially when it's your baby.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
this is my business. Like kind of the same thing with mine. I had my girlfriend come on and she's taking a lot of the stuff that I used to do, but it was, you're like, I do it right. This is how it's done. I'm better than you. But then, I typically realize like, she's actually much better than it than I even am.
no, and you have to delegate.
Yeah.
I mean, I do it in my own full-time job. Sometimes you want to do it yourself to make sure it's perfect.
Yeah.
But at some point, I'm not going to be able to complete it, so you have to delegate. So let's say if we would hire these people that would go and stage it perfectly, that takes away those 6-7 hours that we take just staging it.
Yeah.
So it would be just easier to go and see it. Okay, no, it's perfect, let's go. Then rather just.
Move this piece of decor over
Yes,
here and put this in.
that's it. They already
Yeah.
move all the furniture pieces. It's already decorated. Everything is hung, so it would not be a big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Delegate as much as possible.
Yep. It's got to happen to grow, right?
Yes.
Yep.
What do you guys, obviously you're putting a ton of time in. What do you guys like to do? I heard you guys say you like to play tennis, like
Oh,
outside.
yes.
So outside of staging and work.
Yes, and we're really competitive.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Really competitive. He's thrown a racket at me a time or two now.
I know.
Oh yeah, gotta let the anger out somehow.
No, tennis is definitely a passion. I mean, that goes all the way back to high school for me. Yeah, and of course, I mentioned earlier my kids. I love spending time with the kids when I am able. So, yeah, just good stuff.
So you
Love
guys,
to travel too. So
Yeah?
we
Oh,
both have
yes.
that passion too of traveling. So
where's the go-to spots? Do you guys have certain spots that you love to travel to?
New York.
New York
You
City
like New
is
York?
one of them.
Yes.
Man, the concrete jungle. I don't
Yes, New York City for both. Yeah.
know. Man, it just
Yeah.
gives me like anxiety being in New York.
Oh no, not for me, not for him.
No,
No.
it's good. I have a younger brother that lives there, so
Really?
we have a
And we go quite often.
My best friend lives in Yonkers. I grew up in small town Minnesota, so like I'm used to like looking out my window and seeing like
Nice.
a buck or something like that. Some deer, not towers and
Right,
So
right.
interesting. So in the photos, we're gonna see you guys playing some tennis. It sounds like right,
Yes.
in the article.
Yeah, it's staged.
Well,
but
it's,
yeah.
yes, because
There you go, good
we're
plug.
wearing jeans, so we were definitely not playing when we did it. But
You don't have the headbands on or anything like that.
No.
like
no.
John McEnroe, no. Short shorts, no, not for me.
Next time around, we'll get that done. What do you got? We talked about this craziest. So you've been in real estate for a while. You've always had some crazy real estate stories that have came up. But you said you just had one. Was it this morning?
It happened today. So typically, realtors will ask us to leave our staging, inventory in the house, while it's on the market, at least through the option period, through that inspection period after it's under contract. And we had a realtor that said, okay, we're out of contract, or we're out of the option period. We're set for closing. Go ahead and go get the furniture. So we went and got the furniture last night, and packed it all up. And just today, I got a text from her, and she said, the buyers have terminated the contract. Is there any way we can get the furniture back in the house?
Oh dear.
So, so yeah, that's what I was telling you that Victor doesn't even know about yet. But yeah, so we're gonna have to go stage that house again with that furniture. And it's interesting. So I think I know that's a testament to what we do, because she could have said, "Don't worry about it. I already had the pictures."
Yeah.
But she said, I want the staging back in there because I know that's what got us under contract in the first place.
That's good.
Because it was on the market for 58 days or so before she called us to come put the furniture in. Mm-hmm. After she had the furniture in, within 3 days, it was under contract.
You guys doing something right.
So she's like, I'm a believer, and she said, so I want the furniture back in there.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go put the furniture back in there for her. Yeah. And that's what we do.
Yeah.
And that's our job. You asked earlier as far as, what do you enjoy about what you do, and all, what I enjoy, and I know what Victor enjoys too, is we love the partnership with agents to help make their selling easier. Mm-hmm. Right? So, and it can be on the buyer side or the listing side. On the buyer side, if you walk into a staged home, you're gonna have a better buyer experience because your buyers aren't wondering, what is this room going to look like, or what is this going to look like. With sellers, it's the same thing. Your sellers are going to net more at the end of the day, and their house is going to be on the market for about 50% less of the time on average. So staging works, and we are here to partner with agents to help that whole experience be as easy as possible.
Yeah.
The great thing about it is I have such a photographic memory. I really
with
do.
Everything, or with
that. Even like last night, we mixed what we were removing from this staging job with other furniture. I can still remember every single piece that we used in that house, and we just stage it exactly the way we had it the first time.
Wow.
And sometimes we're just discussing, hey, what about this end table? Like, no, we have it in this other house. And this other one, no, we have it in the other house here.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it, but he's able to.
I can remember exactly what we used.
Have you always been that way, or is it just because you're so passionate about this?
Well, I think I've always been this way, but I think when we started this business, that's when I noticed, said, oh wow, I can remember so much.
Yeah.
And so specific, very specific details of staging.
Well, I think part of it is because you're so passionate about what you love, what you do, so it sticks in your head.
It sticks, yes. And I remember I moved it this way. And funny story, so we staged a house, and I was so proud of that house. And then, so we went back after they actually took the photos. And as soon as I walked in, they moved these 2 chairs. And they moved that pillow. Like that. I mean,
no question.
It just came out of my mouth. And it looked good, honestly. Yeah. I had no problems, but that's how photographic is my memory. I can remember the way we left it.
Wow.
And sometimes we would have an end table. It probably has 4 different art pieces. I can remember all those 4 pieces in there.
Wow.
And the way we actually staged it.
I'm jealous. Yeah. I'd like that. I'd like that mine. What do you guys do? So obviously you guys are burning, like you said, burning the candle from both ends. What do you do do you have pump up music? Do you guys drink a lot of caffeine? Like how do you keep going and keep running?
I don't drink coffee, but music for sure all the time.
What's your go-to?
Yes. Artist or just...
Yeah, artist, genre. Do you have a specific one
I like
that gets you in the zone?
One Republic.
Great,
like
yeah.
a lot. I've seen them in concert, so that would be my go-to playlist. But if you take a look at my iPhone music,
It's all over the place.
it's all over the place. I've never been such a big fan of, I don't know, let's say Beyonce. Oh, I just love her to death, and I'm just gonna listen to what? No, I just one
One of her songs.
one of her songs,
One of this
and
person,
then
one of
one
that.
from Kelly Clarkson, and then
Yeah.
one from country music, and then basically One Republic is the one that I have the most.
Yeah, yeah. I'm
But
a big
yeah,
fan.
but yeah, it's all over the place. But yeah,
Apologize
music.
used to be one of my favorite songs.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Still alive.
Yeah. Good Life. I love
Oh, yeah.
that song, Good Life. And when he came up, that song came out. I was in England, and he talks about being in England. So it just resonated with me, and I
Yeah.
love that song because it's just
a really good song.
such a happy
Makes you
song.
feel grateful.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. You're just happy. You just love life. And I love that one phrase that he says there. It says, when you're happy like a fool, like let
Yep.
it take you over.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah,
So
yeah.
just be happy.
I remember so I have a lake cabin in central Minnesota, and I remember, this was probably like 4 years ago, I was sitting on the dock, I was the only one out there at the time, and I had music playing up in the cabin just blaring, and Good Life came on, and I remember just sitting on like the end of my dock, like in this peaceful area, I was like, it is Good Life.
Yes,
You know, and
yes.
It's like a really deep moment of like
Yeah.
gratitude.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, so I guess I didn't even ask you. So, did you guys grow up in Dallas? Where did you guys grow up? And yeah, tell me a little bit about that.
So, yeah, I grew up in Dallas.
You
So,
grew up right here.
Yeah, I was born and raised here. I was born in Dallas, raised in Garland. Went to Baylor. So
Okay.
I'm a Texas guy
Okay.
through and through.
And you?
I was born in Laredo, Texas. I was raised in Mexico through my 20s. And then when I started studying my master's degree at Texas A&M, I basically came back and never left, right? And I moved to Dallas 3 years ago, 3 years and a half, due to my full-time job as a customs broker. And it's been the best decision I've ever made. I love Dallas.
Yeah.
I really do. It's my kind of crowd, honestly.
You wouldn't rather be in New York City?
Well,
Hold up. Second best place to be.
yes. Great thing is we can always go visit. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, no, this is such a great city. So many different places you can go, and every single city in the Metroplex has its own entertainment part.
Yeah.
So it's just, it never ends.
It's a great place to be.
It's a great place to live,
Yeah.
honestly. I love Dallas.
Well, I appreciate you guys coming on and obviously being partners of Real Producers, and I'm super excited to see your guys' story in our March issue, and just thank you guys again so much for being on here with me.
Yeah.
Thank
we
you so
appreciate
much.
you.
We're really happy to be partners.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Definitely. Thank you.
Well, thank you for tuning in to RPTV, and as always, we will see you next time.